gentlemen, it's the Lawrence Welk Show. Tonight's show has been especially selected for public television by Maestro Lawrence Welk. And now, here's your host.
Hi, friends. I'm Joanne Castle, and I'm so happy to be your guest host this week. I'm here on the terrace overlooking one of the golf courses at Welk Resort. Isn't that pretty? Golf is one of Lawrence's passions. That's the reason he acquired this place originally. But the other passion in his life, now and always, is music. And that's what this show is all about, just great music. It was taped back in 1967, and there are so many of my good friends in it. This is going to be great fun to watch. So let's get started. Here's Lawrence and all the gang, and a very appropriate song to open a musical show.
Nickelodeon. All I want is having you and music, music, music.
I'd do anything for you, anything you'd want me to. All I want is kissing you and music, music, music.
Closer, my dear, come closer. The nicest part of any melody is when you're dancing close to me. Put another nickel in the Nickelodeon. All I want is loving you and music, music, music.
And now we feature all the Champagne music makers. The boys play a special arrangement of the song, Let's Fall in Love. We invite you all to dance. A 1 and 2 and Thank you, fellas. And that was a little bit of shuffle rhythm. And now we bring you the four lovely Lennon Sisters with a song that's very high on the popularity list, Sugartown.
I got some troubles, but they won't last. I'm gonna lay right down here in the grass. And pretty soon all my troubles will pass, 'cause I'm in Sugartown. I never had a dog that liked me some. I never had a friend, I wanted one. So I just lay back and laugh at the sun, 'cause I'm in Sugartown. Hey gang, look. Oh, yesterday it rained in Tennessee. I heard it also rained in Tallahassee. But not a drop fell on little me, 'cause I'm in Sugartown. Sugartown. If I had $1 million or 10, I'd give it to your world and then you'd go away and let me spend my life in Sugartown. Sugartown.
Seeing the Lennon Sisters on that railroad track makes me think of all the tours we've taken together. We've gone on trains, buses, private cars, but not on planes. You know why? There's a small hitch. One of the Lennons, and I'm not going to say who, does not like to fly. So whenever they make an appearance, they go by bus or train. Frequent flyers, they're not. The girls more or less retired a couple of years ago, but they still make personal appearances for something special like a charity show or a special event, but only if they don't have to fly. Okay, here's Frank Scott and Bob Ralston. They are featured in this next number. They're such wonderful musicians. I remember when I was recording one of my albums a few years ago, Larry Welk asked me who I wanted to direct the session, and right away I said, Frank Scott. I've always admired his musical talent and his intelligence. And of course, Bob Ralston is wonderful too. Here they are playing Chanson D'Amour.
And if you'll pardon my French, the title of the song was Chanson D'Amour. The microphone is making a comeback these days. This evening, Bob Lida finds a new use for it. Bob will do the whistling and singing as Barbara and Bobby give us a new routine. Here they are dancing to the title song of our newest album.
Winchester Cathedral, you're breaking me down. You stood and you watched as my baby left town. You could have done something, but you didn't try. You didn't do nothing. You let her walk by. Now everyone knows just how much I needed a gal. You wouldn't have gone far away if only you'd have started the ring in your pal. Winchester Cathedral, you're breaking me down. You stood and you watched that my baby left town.
Bob Lido and I had such good fun over the years. We were always casting comedy sketches together, and we both got a big kick out of it. Bob is kind of a quiet man, though, and I didn't know if he liked me or not when we first met. But he has turned out to be one of my dearest friends. And how about that Bobby Burgess? You know, he just celebrated a major birthday, but he still looks like he just got out of the Mouseketeers. And Barbara, she looks fabulous, too. I don't know. Must be all that dancing. Well, Barbara's been dancing with Bobby for this last year because his regular partner, Elaine Baldwin, has been otherwise occupied, having a baby. Yes, Elaine and her husband, Jim Baldwin, have a new little baby girl, Scala, to join their 2-year-old Alana. Elaine says now Jim has his own harem. Well, let's get back to the show. And another ageless wonder, the one and only Lawrence Welk.
Norma Zimmer sings a song titled I'm Old-Fashioned. In view of some of the modern styles in clothes, I think that's a rather refreshing idea.
Rain
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Arthur Duncan. I'd like to put my happy feet to work and dance to a Joe Rizzo arrangement of that fine old standard, I Know That You Know. Ready, fellas? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Arthur has been getting great reviews lately wherever he goes. When he was featured in a Tommy Tune musical here in Los Angeles a couple of years ago, one reviewer wrote, "Arthur Duncan steals the show. All those years dancing on the Lawrence Welk show have made him a consummate performer." I'd have to agree with that. Next up is one of my favorite people in the whole world, Jimmy Roberts. Jim was on the sick list for a while, but I'm happy to say he's doing just great now. His darling wife, Vi, takes wonderful care of him. Vi and Jim and my good friend Lynn Viviano and I spend a lot of time together, even though we live at opposite ends of the country. Jim and Vi live in Florida, and we're out here in L.A. Anyway, here's Jim now to sing I Wish I Didn't Love You So. And I believe he's singing this one to Vi.
I didn't love you so. My love for you should have ended long ago. I wish I didn't need your kiss. Why must your kiss torture me as long as this? I could be smiling by now with some new tender friend, smiling by now with my heart on the mend. But when I try, something in my heart says no. You're still there. I wish I didn't love you so.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good to have you back, Jimmy. A happy-go-lucky fella, Mr. Taptoe, seems to brighten up the neighborhood when he shows up. Let's meet Jack Imel and some of his friends.
That sounds like Mr. Taptoe. It does sound like Mr. Taptoe.
It is Mr. Taptoe.
Strutting down the street, got rhythm in your shoes, shuffling away the blues. Mr. Taptoe, you haven't any time to lose. Mr. Taptoe, who's the gal you gonna choose?
New straw hat with the candy bar
stripe, sharper than an old tin type. Mr. Taptoe, the melon on the vine is ripe. Mr. Taptoe, who you taking out tonight? Where did you get your fancy clothes? The pretty and painted toes. The guy sticking out from under your chapeau. Who you gonna dance with tonight, Mr. Taptoe?
Dapper little Dan with the rhythm in your feet, tapping out the music on the street, Mr. Taptoe, giving all the girls a treat, Mr. Taptoe, who's the one you're gonna meet?
Mr. Taptoe, Mr. Happy Tappy Toe, Mr. Taptoe, I wanna go along with you. Giving all the girls a treat, Mr. Taptoe, who's the one you're gonna meet? Mr. Taptoe, Mr. Happy Tappy Toe, Mr. Taptoe, I wanna go along with you. I wanna go along with you. I wanna go along with you. I wanna go along with you.
That was such fun. I'm sure you recognize Bobby Burgess, Arthur Duncan, Barbara Boylan, and Peggy Lennon in that number. I always got a big kick out of dancing on the show. When I started out in show business at the age of 3, I was a singer and a dancer. That was in my hometown of Bakersfield, California, where I grew up. There I am. I guess I was about 5 years old there. My mother made that costume, and the doggy was in my act, too. He moved when I moved. I also took piano lessons. But when I was about 9, my parents decided they couldn't afford the different lessons, so I had to choose one. Fortunately, I chose the piano. Well, fast forward 11 years later, and one day Jack Imel asked me if I could dance. I told him, sure I can dance. I'd love to dance again. So he taught me a few steps, and I ended up doing a lot of dance numbers on the show. Next up is a lovely cello solo by who else? Charlotte and her cello. Here she is to play My Heart Remembers. was beautiful, wasn't it? So many members of the musical family were so talented in so many different ways. Curt Ramsey, for instance. He was not only a superb librarian for the band, he could sing, dance, play the trumpet, and write songs. Here's one he wrote and arranged himself. It's a great dance number, and it's called Lovable Doll.
Champagne music, our trademark since 1938 when we played in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Joe Feeney has selected one of this year's Academy Award contenders. With Frank Scott at the piano, Joe would like to sing for you at this time the very popular song, Born Free.
Born free as the wind blows, as free as the grass grows, born free to follow your heart. Live free and beauty surrounds you. The world still astounds you each time you look at a star. Stay free where there's no walls to divide you. You're free as a roaring tide, so there's no need to hide. Born free, and life is worth living, but only worth living 'cause you're born free. Stay free where no walls divide you. You're free as a roaring tide, so there's no need to hide. Born free, and life is worth living, but only worth living 'cause you're born free.
Boy, that Feeney can sure sing, can't he? What a voice. My musical conductor, Lynn Viviano, and I recently appeared in behalf of the Palm Springs Desert Charities. There were a few other well-known people there, too. Gene Autry, Bob Hope, Foster Brooks, and that's Lynn next to me. Lynn and I always have a great time on the road. We always try to mix business with pleasure. And recently, we had a great time driving through Sequoia National Park. All those wonderful big trees. I said to Lynn, I'll bet there's some bears around here. And sure enough, just as we rounded a curve, there was this big sign that said, "Look out for bears." A couple of turns later, and we came around the bend, and there was this huge bear, just like he was waiting for us. I grabbed my camera, rolled down the window, and yelled at Lynn to keep his finger on the window button. I snapped this picture. Just as I did, the bear lunged toward us, and boy, we got out of there real fast. When I had the picture developed later, I was so happy with it that it now hangs in a place of honor on my living room wall. Oh, I'm going to have some tea on that. Hold on, folks. I'm thirsty. Now, here's a different version of a very famous song from the musical My Fair Lady. And here's Myron Floren to tell you all about it. Myron?
Lawrence's idea of playing show tunes with a polka beat got a happy reaction from many of you folks last week. Here's another from My Fair Lady that kind of points up the philosophy that you can get ahead with a little bit of luck. Of course, I'm a firm believer that a certain amount of hard work also helps.
Natalie and Nevins is joined by our quartet in one of the fine songs from Meredith Wilson's great show, The Music Man. Let's listen to Lida Rose.
Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Lida Rose, oh, won't you be mine? Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, be mine. Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose. just
Sweet and low, sweet and low, how sweet that memory, how long ago, forever.
Here is my heart.
Oh yes, forever. Will I ever tell you? Oh no. Won't you be mine?
Natalie Nevins surprised me a couple of years ago by coming to one of my concerts in the Philadelphia area. She now lives there. She's fine and says she enjoys watching all the shows on PBS. And in case you wondered who the guys on that bicycle built for 5 were, they were Charlie Pilato, Larry Hooper, Steve Smith, and Curt Ramsey. I told you Curt could do everything. Now here's one of the nicest ladies you'll ever want to meet. I think she was the most loved people on the show, Norma Zimmer. Here she sings one of her favorite hymns with her favorite singing partner and also one of the best-loved people on the show, Jimmy Roberts, with Bob Ralston at the organ.
What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. Are we weak and heavy laden, cumbered with a load of care? Precious Savior, still our refuge. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Do thy friends despise, forsake me? Take it to the Lord in prayer. In his arms he'll take and shield thee. Thou wilt find a solace there.
Wasn't that pretty? I might tell you that even though Jimmy and his wife, Vi, now live in Florida, we visit each other all the time. And the last time they were in Los Angeles, they came over for dinner, and we played Italian Trivia Pursuit. Oh, you don't know what that is? Well, Italian Trivia Pursuit means you cannot refuse. You can turn down 2 questions, but you have to answer the third. And guess who won the booby prize? Me. And worst of all, my questions had to do with show business. Those of you who watched our show over the years remember how they always decorated my piano. Our set designer, Chuck Coons, and director Jim Hobson would always come up with some wild and crazy idea to dress up my piano to match the song I was playing. It all started when our show went into color in 1965. I went to Jim and I said, "Oh, Jim, please do something about this old brown piano. Paint it cream or something." He thought for a moment and then he said, "Why don't we paint it a different color every week?" So that's what they did, and folks used to get a big kick out of seeing how it looked every week. Here are a few shots. This first one, I'm in a Roaring Twenties outfit, and we're doing a Roaring Twenties show. I love that dress. The second one now, I think it was a spring show. We had flowers, and it was all decorated, real light and airy. This third one was New Year's Eve. I remember this well because we burst the balloons right after we finished the show. And this last one I loved. I was the Queen in the Walt Disney special. Those were fun. Well, I'm up next playing Loch Lomond. What do you want to bet I got a Scottish outfit on?
Thank you, Joanne, and my compliments to our wardrobe and art department. These people really go all out for these special numbers. And we're thankful to Scotland for originating the game of golf, which happens to be my favorite hobby. We call next on Steve Smith. Steve sings a song that has been made so very popular lately by our good friend Andy Williams, In the Arms of Love.
If I could hold you in the arms of love tonight, then I'd never let you go. As the hours go by, I'll show you why we've waited for this. As two lovers whisper low, if I could feel that magic kiss your lips invite, imagine the joys I'd know. The day has died away, let's find a hideaway and share the promise of a new tomorrow in the arms of love tonight. If I could feel that magic kiss your lips invite, imagine the joys I'd know. The day has died away, let's find a hideaway and share the promise in the arms of love tonight.
You will recall that Steve Smith used to sing in the group called the Blenders on the show. Well, here comes those two kids again, Bobby and Barbara. Barbara and I became very close friends, and when she left the show to get married, I gave her a going-away party. Now, it was supposed to be a swimming pool party, but the only problem is that it was June, and June in Los Angeles can be overcast and dreary. The sun never did come out that day, and we just about froze to death. But we had fun anyway. Now, here are Barbara and Bobby dancing to Two Sleepy People. Okay, kids, wake up.
And the wonderful Barbara and Bobby. Ladies and gentlemen, with your permission, we'd like to cater to some of the boys in the band on this next number. We're going to let them swing out, and we feature Bob Havens on trombone, Dick Cathcart on trumpet, and Neil Levang on the guitar. The song, There'll Never Be Another You. Gentlemen, 1 and 2. Great musicianship, fellas. I always get in good with the boys when I let them swing out. And that song was arranged by David Wolpe of the famous NORAD band. Here's a pleasant combination, the baritone voice of Dick Dale and the sweet blend of the lovely Lennon Sisters, their song, Waiting for the Evening Train.
I'll be waiting for the evening train. You'll be the reason I'll be waiting for the train. I'll be swinging down a country lane, timing my time to the evening train.
Roll on,
Over the hill,
roll on,
passing the mill,
roll on.
nearing the end. Here she comes around in the bend. You'll be cozy in a cottage small, the kind they always build beside a waterfall, with your honey who will give her all, waiting for the sun or rain, waiting for the evening train. Roll on,
Over the hill,
roll on,
passing the mill,
roll on.
near the end.
Here she comes around in the bend. You'll be cozy in a cottage small, the kind they always build beside a waterfall, with your honey who will give her all, waiting for the sun or rain,
Waiting for the evening,
waiting for the evening, waiting for the evening train.
woo.
I told you the Lennon sisters like to travel on the train. There's the proof. You know, all the Lennon family still live in and around Los Angeles, but Dick Dale and his wife, Marguerite, have moved to Tennessee. Wonder if they took the train. Next up is a very appropriate song for the Welk show. Keep a song in your heart. You've heard Lawrence say that many, many times. Now here's the band, the singers, and the dancers, including me and the piano, and one of the rare times it wasn't decorated. Guess that Scotch decoration was too much for it. Here's the band.
Keep a song in your heart, let a melody start to change your point of view. When your spirits are low, you'll be happy to know what a song can do for you. There's just one thing to do when you're weary and blue, and dreams just fall apart. Start to whistle or sing, it's a wonderful thing to keep a song in your heart. Thing to do when you're weary and blue, and dreams just fall apart. Start to whistle or sing, it's a wonderful thing to keep a song in your heart.
Well, friends, that's our show for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed meeting some of your old friends again. I've loved sharing some happy memories with you. I'm on tour most of the year, and chances are I'll be in your town one of these days. So please come by and say hello, won't you? I'd love to see you. Till then, may all your days be happy, and as Lawrence and the gang would say, keep a song in your heart.